What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you guys a review of the Air Jordan 4 Retro in this military blue or industrial blue colorway. So the Air Jordan 4 Military Blue is an original colorway that first released back in 1989. Jordan fans would have to wait until 2006 for the first retro of this colorway to release, and that was one of the first shoes I ever bought in my entire sneaker collection. Fast forward 6 years later, they would retro once again in 2012, and then now, 12 years later, they're finally back once again, but for the first time with Nike Air on the back since the original release. So these have shock dropped already on the Nike Sneakers app in the States, and then they were also distributing early access on the app as well, but the actual official worldwide release is set for May 4th, and they retail for a price of $215 US or $280 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe, despite being nicknamed for some reason Industrial Blue by Nike, on the box label of the shoe it's actually military blue, off-white, and neutral gray, and these should be pretty widely available. They're going to be available here in Canada at most sneaker retailers including The Closet Inc. The Closet Inc. is an independently owned and operated sneaker boutique based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada. And they're my go-to shop when it comes to Jordan retros and Nike releases, and they offer some of the best deals and the best prices nationwide. So for all my Canadian viewers out there, I've linked their social media, their website, all that good stuff down below, so check them out, support the independent shops, and tell them that I sent you. So like I was just mentioning, for some reason Nike is calling these the industrial blue, but I do have to say though that this shade of blue, while it's technically still labeled as military blue on the box, it's pretty different compared to the last two retros that we've gotten. Those two previous retros have a much more vibrant and vivid tone to it, whereas this one has a bit of a darker, duller finish, which according to a lot of OG Jordan heads, is supposed to be a lot closer to the original than the last two retros. I've never seen in person or owned an original Air Jordan 4 Military Blue from '89, so I can't comment on that directly, but that's just what people are saying. So if it actually is closer to the originals, then I'm all for it. I just can't comment on how accurate this shade of blue is. So with all that being said now, let's dive into the details and I'll give you guys a closer look. Starting things off with the toe box, this is covered in a smooth off-white colored leather, and unlike typical off-white or sail leathers, which have a bit more of a warmer tone to it, a little bit of a hint of cream, the leather here has a bit more of a cooler feel, has a bit more of a bluish tone to it. And in terms of the leather quality, it really was nothing special. You can feel this thick polyurethane coating on top of the leather, which gives it a little bit more of a stiff and synthetic feel, even though this is technically genuine leather. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have this neutral gray overlay of nubuck, and then covering the bottom three eyelets, we have this military blue covered TPU lace crown. In between this, we have the signature netting on the mid panel, and then on the top three eyelets, we have another lace crown also done in blue, and this is attached to the side wing or flap, which is constructed out of a white colored TPU. Underneath this, we have more of that off-white colored leather. This wraps around the bottom of the shoe, and this is also found surrounding the top portion where the ankle collar area is. On the heel, just like any other Air Jordan 4, we have this large heel tab. This is painted again in military blue, and we have this white colored Nike Air branding. As far as the laces go, so this shoe only comes with one lace option, and they're a flat style lace done in this off-white color. Underneath this, the tongue is covered in that same netting that we saw earlier on the side panels. However, the top of the tongue is covered in the smooth off-white colored leather, and then we have this large patch on top with Jumpman Flight branding. On the back of the shoe, this is covered in this blue colored liner, and just like any other Air Jordan 4, we have this upside down tag with Air Jordan branding. And then as far as the interior of the shoe goes, this is pretty well padded, and it's covered in an off-white colored liner. For the insoles, these come with a thin polyurethane insole, which is finished with this military blue colored liner on top, and then we have Nike Air branding pressed onto the heel in white. The tooling of the Air Jordan 4 is unchanged, so this sits atop this polyurethane foam midsole, which is painted in white on the bottom and military blue on the top. Encased within the shoe, we have Nike Air technology for cushioning, and on the heel we have this window exposing the air unit that's housed within this midsole. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, so here we have your classic Air Jordan 4 outsole, and in this case, it's constructed out of a mix of gray, blue, and white colored rubber. We have this herringbone style traction pattern that runs from heel to toe, and towards the back half of the shoe, we have Nike Air branding in this white colored rubber. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. Historically, I wear between a 10 to a 10.5 in most Air Jordan 4s. However, with the new shape of the Air Jordan 4s, which was initially introduced with the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Pine Green, the overall look and shape of this shoe is supposed to be closer to the original build. So unlike prior Air Jordan 4s that had a bit more of a shorter but longer banana-like look, these recent Air Jordan 4s stand a little bit taller, they feel a little bit bulkier, but they don't have that elongated toe box that Jordan 4s maybe 5 to 10 years ago had. So because of that, I got these in my true size, which is a size 10. And I don't know if this is just because of the materials, but I felt like they ran a little bit more narrow than the recently released reimagined Bread 4s, as well as the Nike SB Jordan 4s as well. Not enough that I'd want to go up half a size, but I could feel a little bit of these sidewalls kind of brushing against my pinky toe. So I feel like if you have a narrow, normal, or a slightly wide foot, just go true to size and you should be okay. But if you have a really wide foot and you historically go up half a size for the Air Jordan 4s anyway, I'd probably recommend just going with that same half size up for this pair as well. Keep in mind, this could purely be because of some manufacturer's inconsistency. It comes down to millimeters sometimes, but at least for the pair that I've tried, I could feel a little bit of that discomfort on the pinky toe, but again, not enough that I want to go up half a size. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel pretty much like any other Air Jordan 4. We have this very thin polyurethane insole, which honestly doesn't really do much, so the underfoot feeling still feels relatively firm and flat. You're not going to feel some substantial upgrade from a cushioning standpoint. So it's not going to be a super comfortable sneaker, but for an everyday casual use sneaker, it's going to be okay. If you're someone that historically doesn't like how Jordan 4s feel underfoot, you're probably not going to like these either. But if Jordan 4s normally are passable for you, then these will be the same for you as well. Finally, in terms of the material quality and the craftsmanship on this shoe, so first off, in terms of the material quality, this was definitely by far the most disappointing thing about this pair. With the Nike SB Pine Green 4s and the reimagined Bread 4s, both pairs utilize pretty solid materials. But in the case for this pair, the leather that they used, like I mentioned earlier, has a very strong polyurethane coating to it, and it just doesn't feel like a great cut of leather even though they do utilize genuine leathers on the upper. This really brought me back to Jordans from years past, and I'd say that strictly from a material standpoint, these were below average. And in terms of the build and the craftsmanship, so it wasn't flawless, but it wasn't bad. I really like the overall shape of this shoe. They really got this right. And one thing I was worried about, which is pretty common when it comes to Jordan 4s, is wrinkling or warping with this netting on the side or on the toe box. However, for my pairs, all the panels with the netting were pretty straight on, and the panels were relatively cut consistently. The only issues I had were there was some creasing along the toe box, there were some minor scuff marks or markings along the back of the shoe. But to be fair to you guys, I haven't tried removing it yet, so I don't know if this is a permanent stain. But taking these out of the box for the first time, there were definitely noticeable issues with this pair, which was a little bit disappointing as well. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, this Military 4 Jordan 4 is a classic colorway, and one that I'm very happy to re-add to my collection after losing my 2006 pair. Yes, I know it's not the exact shade of blue that we've kind of grown accustomed to, and even if this is closer to the originals, just because of nostalgia, I kind of prefer the brighter shade of blue that they normally use, but I'm not mad about this colorway whatsoever. If you're not taking a microscope and analyzing it to that level, at the end of the day, this is still a very dope pair. I was just disappointed with the materials that they chose to use. This to me was something they really struck out on. And again, the build quality could have been a little bit improved as well. But again, given how popular Jordan 4s are and the fact that these haven't released in over 10 years, I'm almost 100% sure these will sell out, if not on the first day, then at least in the first couple days. So leave your thoughts down below, let me know what do you guys think about this military blue or industrial blue Air Jordan 4. When these officially drop on May 4th, are you planning on copying these? Is this kind of a game time decision for you, or it's already going to be a pass for you altogether? As usual, if you guys enjoy this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esgo8, follow me on X at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and hopefully it helped you in some way. I appreciate the continued love and support, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.